And that's one thing. And I'm glad you said that too, because, we did sacrifice. I mean, the players sacrificed. Now, granted, people say, well, players get paid to play. And, we get paid as well to do what we do.
Yeah.
And, that's one thing that we kind of, I feel the pandemic especially has highlighted, especially even more so at the professional level. Field managers have had to keep chipping away at it because, in Major League Baseball, to me, there hasn't been enough talked about what the Major League Baseball field managers went through. They all, starting in early July, and I know Nicole was on, one of the previous chats you had, Nicole from the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, what they had to do in itself was unprecedented. They had to do spring training or late spring training. They had to do that at their home ballpark, and then they had to go right into the season.
Yeah.
So, what we did or what was going on with MLS was unprecedented as well, but that was happening at Major League Baseball as well. The NFL guys were having all kinds of different challenges. So it wasn't just us. In fact, I think I'd take this challenge over, say, Nicole's, of having bluegrass in Baltimore when, we live just outside Baltimore. We had the hottest July on record, at least from a standpoint. We had 28 days over 90, and she's growing bluegrass in Baltimore. I mean, my hat's off to her, because we were growing Bermuda grass, and we actually, I did that for a Parks and Rec meeting I was at the other day. We compared our growing degree days in Orlando to our growing degree days here in the DC, Baltimore area, and they're essentially equal for the month of July.
Wow.
So our weather in Orlando was obviously great for growing Bermuda grass. Well, she was trying to grow, and then John Turnauer as well, the Washington Nationals, they were growing Kentucky bluegrass, and essentially having a heck of a lot of play as well. So it's there's been a lot of unprecedented things going on, but we as field managers and we as an industry, like, sometimes we forget we're in the entertainment business, and the opportunity to provide entertainment, especially at that point in July, so early in July, when I think I told you, and I told you that I did an interview the other day, and I started to tear up about it, as I start to now, even because it's you see those videos on social media of, I think San Jose did a watch party outside the stadium, and they put the game up on the scoreboard, outside to the stadium. Or Philadelphia Union was doing some watch parties. John Torres, their field manager, painted some circles for folks to go in and sit and watch the match. And you see, especially at that point in July, there was so much. I mean, granted, there's anxiety now. I mean, I think it's probably even higher. But at that point in July, we hadn't grown. We hadn't all become calloused against the controversy around COVID and the kind of the scariness as things were kind of expanding. It really is, to have an impact or be part of that. Major League Baseball did the same thing. The NFL field managers did the same thing. The college field managers are having the same impact that, the last weekend and this weekend. We're giving people entertainment that need entertainment, because Lord knows there's enough stress going on behind them, and everywhere else. To me, we're at our best at this point. I know there's a lot of folks that don't necessarily agree with that, and they want to talk about the problems in the industry and the problems in the world. But God, for us, it was wonderful to be a part of it, even though I was away from home for 59 days with a newborn. But, we're in the entertainment business, and we get to provide entertainment in a world now that needs it more than ever. And I think it's really cool to have been a part of that, especially as well, because who knows what's next, right? Who knows?
And just as a follow-up to that, another another thing that we touched on is, just the impact of bringing sports back was really important for the world. But also, you kind of let me know that there was a lot of social movements going on throughout this tournament, and the impact of those. Kind of describe the atmosphere and how that added to the tournament and added to the event and added to the the crew and the players and the coaches, and how you guys all kind of bonded together there.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a great question, and it's a great point that, it's even as highlighted, as highlighted as the entire event. I mean, it's, really the unity that was shown or is being shown in sports at this point with our athletes, and, really standing up for social justice and, really taking a stance. I mean, granted, especially with our side of the industry, I know I make people uncomfortable when I speak about it, because we're a very conservative group when it comes to this side of the industry. But the whole is not a conservative industry at this point anymore. So it was just really powerful. I mean, the opener, which was on ESPN, the entire event, and the way Taylor Twellman kind of explained the situation at that. I mean, the opening match opened with the entire walkout, the entire game, pure silence, and essentially, essentially, and where whatever your stance is on it, it doesn't. It is what they did. Essentially the entire length of over 8 minutes of that the knee was on the neck of George Floyd. That length of silence, I've never seen so many adults. And granted, there weren't a lot of us that were there because it was the bubble, but my goodness, it was powerful. And really to see the players and standing up for what they believe in. Again, we're obviously like I said, our industry is our side of the industry is a bit more conservative when it comes to it, so it does make people uncomfortable. But at this point, we have to accept it, because the athletes we serve and the teams we work for are leading the charge, and it was really, really unique to see. And again, we don't have, doesn't matter what we essentially. Doesn't mean you have to totally buy into it, but it's really incredible to see what's going on, or what was going on, and what continues. I mean, granted, there's going to be controversy about it ongoing with the NFL starting now, but it really is, to me, it just really made all of this that much more powerful.